That's not the fact. That was.
No more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
What's up, Horror Fiends? It's your boy, Ricky Grimes, back at you with another episode of Horror Fiend TV Presents The Three Corners of Horror. 1, 2, 3. What's up, JR? How are you, my brother?
Oh, interesting movie 2023. I'd like to say the title, but in reality, did we feel saved watching it?
Aha! You heard that? Somebody was like, "Ooh!" Joe the psychologist, my brother from another mother. What's up, brother? How are you?
What's going on? Honestly, I gotta say, this was a little bit of a surprise for me, an enjoyable surprise.
Yeah. Did you watch trailers before you went in? Any of you guys?
Nothing.
watch
Zero, nothing at all.
it? Yeah.
Right, before we do though, I just want to real quick. Rick took the time out to record with us tonight. It's actually his birthday, so even though when the episode drops, it'll be a couple days after. Wish him a happy birthday in the comments section, and
Definitely.
happy birthday, my brother.
Happy birthday to
Birthday.
me. Thank you, JR. Thank you, Joe, my brothers. Zombie dust is kicking my ass. What we will be talking about tonight will be the 2023 film No One Will Save You. Directed and written by Brian Duffield, the film stars Caitlin Dever as Bryn. And that's it. One person really to focus on in this film, and that's the way I like it. I like it. What up, guys? So what you guys thought about this film? Let's start with you, GR. What's good, brother?
Well, my impressions after getting like halfway through the movie is like, oh my god, this is like we're watching if Signs met Invasion of Body Snatchers. So I give it credit because it did give kudos to two films that, if you're a fan of Aliens, films definitely. If you didn't like Invasion of Body Snatchers, you never watched it, definitely watch it. It's still one of the best ones out there.
Both.
Yes, and then of course, who doesn't like M. Night Shyamalan's
Signs.
I thought of Joe.
Signs everywhere.
Yes.
Signs.
But yeah, it was when I saw the PG-13, I was like, oh,
I know you
I
texted
know.
me. You're like PG-13. I'm like,
PG-13, no.
I
what?
did the same thing. This movie was getting a lot of hype, and I went to go watch it, and the first thing I saw was PG-13. And again, I knew nothing of this film.
I didn't even know that.
Just the title and, of course, the image that you see, the poster.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
PG-13? Oh, no. What's
But
going on?
yeah, another thing I give it credit for is a lot of films that have to do with alien abductions hold off to the end or the middle of the movie to introduce the alien. The fact that they did it so early and it didn't feel like it dragged until, well, we'll get it later on once we get certain points of this film, but it brought immediate conflict, like surrounding. The whole time you're thinking is like, why is this girl alone in this house by herself? Such a massive house, and who can she call? But it was kind of cool that they jumped right into it. They didn't hold off to later on in the film, which I liked, and the fact that the way the film started with the overhead view of the house is almost the same way the film ended with the overview of the house, which I like when a movie does a full circle. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's interesting because this film, I related to the character of Bryn because she's such an introvert, awkward, anxious. The scenes where she's like on the verge of a panic attack almost gave me a panic attack because I suffer from that kind of stuff. But
I have, yeah.
yeah, so I'm like, whenever I see anyone going through that, I go through it, man. And I'm like, oh, no, please. But you're so engrossed in the film that you just can't stop looking away from it. And the fact that this character was pretty much on her own, and she looks like a teenager. I thought she was going to be like, a teen. She got parents. But no,
21.
she's by herself in this big-ass house. I'm like, what the fuck? Joe, what's up? What would you... So, this character, Bryn, what did you think about her and your impressions of the movie as well?
Well, so the one thing is that Bryn was a recluse. You end up finding out why, especially when she goes into town, and what I thought was a pretty this girl fucking acted her ass off in this movie. And I told Adam, because I watched it with him, I'm like, oh, we got to watch this movie. We're going to be doing it, but it's Alien. So I think you would like that. He goes, yeah, let's watch this. I think we talked twice throughout the whole movie. So that's what I'm saying. PG-13. I didn't even know it was PG-13 until JR set the rating. And I'm like, oh shit, it was PG-13. I didn't know that. This girl acted her ass off. I mean, she barely spoke. I think there was maybe a couple of lines that she said. And when I watched this with Adam, he and I did not talk to each other. Two times. And this is how much you get sucked into the movie, because it's you're that JR, like you said, the aliens come right in the beginning, and you're like, well, oh shit, okay, hold on, it just started, so where are we going with here? But the Bryn character, I myself, I'm a social person with the people that I'm comfortable with, but in new situations, new people, I am so awkward. I have gone to places and physically had to stop in a bush and throw up from my social anxiety.
Unless somebody gives you your wrong order at a Dunkin' Donuts or something.
But I mean, I understood how she felt, like, when she practiced her smile, like if I'm going out somewhere new, I do the look in the mirror and be like, all right, it's new people, just smile, don't look crazy, all right? And when she was doing that, I'm like, oh my god, I totally get this.
I related to her as well.
I related to her.
I did, yeah.
But what threw me off though was because she had that landline. So then I'm like, okay, so this movie must take place like in the 80s.
I have a landline, you know that.
Oh no, I know, but it's an old landline. It's literally the old school, like the color.
And shit.
Yeah, it was rotary. I mean, that's like old school. And then she walked by the flat screen TV, and I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, I'm confused right now. We didn't have flat screen in the 80s, and Adam's like, it's not taking place in the 80s. I'm like, are you sure though? I mean, she had that. He's like, was just a phone. But anyway. Overall, my impression of this movie was it's captivating. You're sucked in. I can't wait to get to the end, because I feel that this is where it. And after I watched the movie, I went and read up some stuff. The ending is, as with some movies, some people love it, some people hate it.
There's one thing about this film that really stood out to me is not only is it like an alien film, but Joe, it's a home invasion.
Yep.
Alien
straight
film.
home invasion.
At least for the first half hour when she gets up.
No, even when they get back home, because I feel like they they made her go back home so they can just home invade her.
Because to me, like, even though the movie does break out into, obviously into the city. It's not a city. Where a suburb?
It's a small town.
Like a small town.
Oh,
yeah,
that's literally like, this is small town.
So once
like,
it broke into the town. You got all the other characters introduced, and those scenes, I was like, oh man, like, please go back to what I wanted the whole film to be, just like this cat and mouse game. But
they're important.
But this is when I realized something. I'm like, fuck, there's no dialogue in this movie yet. Has she talked? And then when she confronts that couple, we'll get into that later. Okay, but nothing. But all the storytelling isn't done through the dialogue. It's done through the facials, the mannerisms, the body language,
interactions, everything.
Her actions. I'm like, dude, oh, dude,
love that about the movie.
I'm like,
love that about the movie, because,
and that's when I was like, are we gonna have a whole film with no dialogue? Like, so as I went along, yes, it's maybe like what 3-4 words spoken into this.
I think when she speaks out to oh my god, what was her friend's name?
Maud.
Maud.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
right, real
Maud,
quick though.
Right?
When you guys saw the name Maud, I mean, I did kind of go Saint Maud, like, oh no, she's writing a Saint Maud. But I think it was just when she spoke to Maud, and when we'll bring it up.
She was thinking about those scenes.
She was thinking about, but that's when you heard words.
Yeah, and the dialogue was used sporadically and at the right moments.
Yeah,
in this film, and everything was done by the gorgeous cinematography. I mean, holy shit, this movie looked beautiful. There's no gore in this movie,
no,
like whatsoever. But the gore is replaced by like gorgeous lighting and clever camera tricks to emphasize the violence. That's genius, bro. And so when that one alien comes into her home, and she don't know it's an alien at first. She thinks someone that's there.
It's
So
in there.
yeah, we'll get into that. Speaking of aliens, Joe, let's get into it. This is an alien film. GR mentioned it best when he said it's the invasion of body snatchers, or the body snatchers. Excellent comparison. And I think obviously that's what the filmmakers are going for. So Joe, like,
Yes.
what did you think about the aliens in this film?
I loved them. They were scary. They legit were scary. It is hard to make. I mean, if you can make fun of me or whatever, but it's hard to make aliens look scary to horror people. And even though they went with what aliens would look like, it was still effectively done.
Yeah, they took the classic Roswell, big-headed, big-eyed aliens, but they made them cool.
Not just that. You had like, I think it was 3. If you guys tell me there was more, there was 3 different types of aliens.
3 types. Yep.
3 types. The fucking when they were doing the sign language, I was captivated, and I'm like, where is my subtitles so I can know what he's trying to tell? Like, that's not fair. Like the way they moved, when the feet that they would stomp it, and then its toes that then would walk.
That was cool.
I've never seen that in an alien horror, alien at all.
Yeah.
To give it that their feet are almost hands, and like the way it did it. And the up until you got the reveal, I loved it. It's that whole we knew that obviously because of the sounds, it wasn't an animal, it wasn't going to be some type of supernatural thing. And yes, obviously, when you see the poster and she's floating in the air, it's going to be alien.
Yeah, I wish the poster never gave that away.
Yeah,
man.
I that's the only reason I knew that this was going to be alien.
Same, yeah.
But when they showed the reveal, I loved it. And these motherfuckers were X-Men type of aliens.
That one guy with the telekinesis.
It was awesome just to see. But the aliens were so freaking cool. I love them. I would. Oh, God.
That one crazy alien with all the appendages and shit chasing after her.
Yeah. I mean, and as far as because I also am a huge Aliens fan, obviously, I'm a huge Alien fan as well as aliens. But, dude, as far as memorable aliens and just originality and the way that the aliens were, this is pretty up there. I got obviously Alien, Close Encounters, just the originality, the feet thing. It was okay. Never seen that before. That's pretty cool. And from there, you knew that you were watching a movie that actually was coming in with a lot of originality and stuff that you didn't see. And these fucking aliens were awesome.
Yeah, JR. in this movie, there's different types of aliens, right? There's obviously the one with the telekinesis.
Right.
There's that one crazy one that just walks in
the
all
big
fours.
ass hands and stuff.
Yeah, that one's
low
cool.
legs.
Yeah, so tell us about your favorite types of creatures in this film, because not creatures, they're extraterrestrial.
What I like is, like you guys said, they took the basic concept of what everybody thinks aliens look like and just added more to it.
Yeah.
Because
they kept it simple. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that you mentioned that. You're right, Gio. They did take that basic concept of what Americana believes that aliens look like.
And then when they decided to go with the body snatchers thing, with that thing that was going into people's mouths, I mean, the bus scene was a hell of a scene in this film. Where she's sitting there and she feels something is not right when the guy basically gets up from his chair and sits behind her. And even in that scene,
that was the mailman. Oh, let me tell you. Hold on, bro. As a collector who gets boxes almost daily to deliver to me, when that motherfucker picked up that box and just fucking threw that shit.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, boy, my blood pressure skyrocketed.
I
That was
order a
the
lot
same
from
guy that
Amazon.
was on. That was the same guy on the bus. That's why I brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they took this now when he started doing like all the transformation, it kind of reminded me of that movie Legion with the ice cream truck driver.
Yeah.
You remember that scene where he started turning, his hands kind of went in different directions. Of course, he got bigger after a while, but
Yeah.
you remember that scene, Joe?
Yes.
Legion. So
The great Doug Jones, man.
yeah, so
Of course.
when I seen the people turning into that, I was like, all right. So now they're taking a little bit from other films too, but the fact that it still felt original and creative.
Yeah.
JR, did you like how they foreshadowed that with the big crop circles? When she first left her house, you saw that big.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, I don't think it was that. I guess you could consider it a crop circle, but
Well,
now
no, I like-
we
I
know
like
what
how
it
she
was.
watered it. She's like, "Damn it, I got a dry circle in my yard."
And then you had that massive one, that real big one that was basically was towards the ending when he was just walking the middle of the
That's the
road.
one that controlled the ship, right? That told the
Yes.
ship when it was
Yeah.
okay to.
Yeah, but I love the aliens in this film because even one thing that had me curious. I'm like, yo, hold up, this fucker broke into her house, but he knew his way around the whole house because he was in the kitchen, he was in the fridge, he knew his way around the house. What made you think, all right, this dude's been in here before? He just
Before,
got
yes,
caught.
yeah, no, yes, yes.
He never got caught, so he was familiar with the area, which
Oh, yeah.
grows into even more curiosity of this film because when she went to town, people were acting strange. I think that lady spit in her face,
Oh,
and
That
then
that was Maud's mother.
her
yeah,
mother.
but she spit in her face, and then
Well, I mean,
but
there's a reason why she spit on
yeah.
her face.
No, yeah, but there was very little dialogue in that scene where that's the scene you would expect for a lot of conversation back.
You
and
would
forth.
expect it, and you did not
You
get
didn't
it.
get it.
But
No.
like
But
I said,
that-
the body language told you
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
But that scene was meant to show you why Bryn has been living
isolated. Yeah, she's
as
isolated.
a recluse.
Yeah.
Because going into town, you saw when she's walking, everybody looking weird at her wasn't because they were already aliens. They're looking weird at her for what had happened when with the incident. So, but like that's what was great. Like she went into town for help, and she went in there knowing that no one will save you.
And
That was where you got the title in this movie played out. Instead of somebody verbally saying this to you, when she walked into the police, the only place she can think of to get some help, and she got spit on the face, the sheriff walked by her. That is when she realized that no one will save you.
Mhm.
The
No
title of the
dialogue.
film.
No dialogue. It's like the title of the film was delivered with no dialogue.
Perfectly
that, too.
said.
That's what I was trying to get that. Sorry. I
you
got
got
a
it,
little far
you
there.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you
got
had
a
the
little far
scene-
there, but
you had the scene where she killed the alien, and even the fact that it took a while for the alien to fall, and you had that.
I love
mean,
that though. Oh
the
man,
fact that they didn't
draw that out.
Yeah, and they drew it out, and the fact they didn't make the alien like it's you can't beat it, you can't kill
Thank
it.
you, GR. I was
fact
gonna
that-
mention that.
Once
I
again,
love
it
that.
made
They
it
make 'em
more.
vulnerable.
Yeah, it made it more realistic in a way.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, very very well done with these aliens, and being a PG-13 film, the first time I saw Alien, I was like, all right, I hope they're gonna do this justice. I hope it's not gonna be cheesy. They did it justice beyond.
You mentioned cheesy though. How was the special effects to this? Oftentimes, yes, it does look CGI, but the way it was utilized, I think, works. Like, how did it look? How was it the CGI to you? Did it work for you?
For me, because of the fact that it went back, reminded me of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Joe said, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The aliens for me seem like how you expect them to have been around this whole time. So they didn't physically, I mean, they adapted in their own way of survival, but the fact that they looked the same throughout this whole time. And think about it, these are the same way the aliens looked when the Roswell crashed. So you had the same, yeah, you had the same looking aliens the whole
It
time.
reminds you of that X-Files episode. What is that something Jose Chung? I forgot the name of the episode. Roswell. The guy got knocked out. Sorry,
No,
digressing.
but I think that I'm glad they did that, because if they would have tried to make a different type of alien, I think they would have lost.
Yeah, if they would have made like a quiet place type.
Yeah.
Well,
overly designing the creature. Not that they did that. They were fine for that film, but for here,
No.
this works better.
Here's the PG part of the movie. The aliens were purposely designed to what the younger ones who are about to discover horror would think aliens are going to look like. It could have looked bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it really looked like an alien was delivering a message to the spaceships. The spaceships all were reminiscent of War of the Worlds, which I kind of mumbled that in there. The old way it looks, you know, it's
A
basically
typical flying saucer design too.
Yeah.
it's a flying saucer where they kept it simple. They didn't overcomplicate it. They didn't want to make it like, you know, I will say I felt maybe it was just an homage to Independence Day when the clouds were coming in, when the ships were all coming in, you had all the clouds coming in. But then it was even better looking with the thunder and lightning. Like it was more ominous.
Ominous, good word.
And when you got the good, you know, lightning and you saw the shape of the UFO, you saw that it was going to be rounded. And then I don't know what to, I guess the mothership, the one that changed different colors as it spoke, when it delivered the message to the, what do you call that one guy? What's the name of the guy? The people that direct the planes when they're landing.
Oh, I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
But that would be what that one guy that was, you know, sending the
that
message.
was the one that turned into the one with the multiple appendages and just like a big spider, like a spider.
But the whole CGI, like
look good. No, it did.
I would have liked to see this on the bigger screen.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. When I'm watching this film, right? Because this movie here, the thing with this movie, it's a good mix of horror styles because it doesn't show you the creature right away. It's always hiding its face, and you hear it a lot through sounds going through upstairs, downstairs, and you hear you know what I mean? And it's cleverly hidden, but it has a good mix because another percentage of the film, they're showing you the alien a lot. I mean, I'm talking about they're showing you the alien, but also hiding the alien. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but when you watch it, you get the best of both worlds. You get the, oh my God, like what's out there? What's going on? Like you hear it everywhere with this perfectly, like the soundscape that they use for this film. The music is almost like this 50s, like, you know, like this typical like alien like soundscape. But at the same time, they show you so much of the alien, and you're like, this is fucking great. So I was like, they made a big mistake
not releasing
this movie in the theater.
Sound,
I think this is the kind of movie that would have started small, but word of mouth.
Yeah,
I think this would have been a huge success in the cinema, and I guarantee you, these filmmakers and producers and everything, they're kicking themselves right now.
Well, real quick, I'll answer first.
Yeah,
I mean, would you have been scared if you saw these aliens in your fucking house? Because I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna straight up say that the design and the way they look. So
if you say no, you're bullshitting. You
all right? So
you're fucking lying.
You guys have been scared. Rick said yes. JR, you're the last one left.
I'm curious because you know why? Because this is why the fact that they use the designs of what we expect aliens to look like. There was only one that seemed, well, two of them that seemed very menacing. Because even the one that was in the house,
little green men.
Yeah, even the one in the house, so like he was just curious. I mean, like, granted, I still think he knew his way around the house.
But he had powers.
I never thought about that until you mentioned that, JR, and I think you're right.
But he was familiar.
Because
with
remember, before that, I think it was before that when she walked out with the crop circles, she's falling on the floor. So they landed already. So yeah.
Well, all right, fine.
I'd be scared, but the fact that it didn't. I think you'd be more nervous because the unknown, but that one didn't really look menacing. I'm saying.
Say no more. Well, the fear of the unknown is
see, for me, is because
worst fear of all, bro.
They would have looked exactly what I thought they would have looked like, and oh fuck.
So but you know what? You're right. Imagine if you see that, you'd be like, damn, you motherfuckers really do look like that?
And then you're going to go, oh, fuck.
So you're trying to tell me John Carpenter got it wrong the whole time? So, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode because we all been clamoring to talk about this. Joe the psychologist, what is your interpretation of this film's ending? Because this is where things got a little woo.
All right.
I think one of you guys mentioned it best. I think it was you, Joe. People are hating or loving it. This makes or breaks the film. So,
all right, so you're
the psychologist. Sip that beer.
Yeah, let me water my throat down for this one.
sipping that with that nice cold beverage.
The ending is very divisive, obviously. Depending on how you're going to look at it. So the whole aliens basically body snatching, and it's not that I don't actually they were body snatching. Yeah, they're right
Oh yeah,
because they did.
but they
Yes,
got
it
the whole
created the
town,
it created the
bro.
clone. It created a clone, but so she had been a recluse for so long. She just wanted to be accepted here. But at the same time, so what had for me, what happened was once they tried to make the clone of her, first of all, she pulled the thing out. So it was probably the first of the humans to have pulled it out on them. And then when she saw her doppelganger and basically, slit her throat, but when she got taken up, the aliens had been there to study them.
He said doppelganger. I love it.
Is that the wrong word?
No, I love that word, bro.
Oh.
You could have said a clone again. You said doppelganger.
Doppelganger is the best.
You know, I know you're a comic book reader because you use doppelganger.
Yes, I am because of that word. But so for the ending, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't a fan of how it played out. I didn't like the music ending. I didn't like the whole like la di da ending. I would have liked the scene just ending more with her coming out and interacting with the ones that were the clones, because the aliens basically gave her her idyllic life, the life that she wanted. She's accepted in this town. So, but she fought it. The other ones that are doppelgangers probably did not pull out the alien from them and want to still live. So she fought it, and the aliens, once they saw her memory and saw why she became a recluse, and spoiler alert, in an argument, she picked up a rock, hit Maud, and killed Maud.
As a
So-
child, right? They
As
were
a child,
kids. They were
as
kids.
a child,
Yeah,
it was a children's argument.
yeah. It can
you
happen
know,
to anybody. Yeah.
It could happen to anybody.
Yep.
I thought about that myself too, and I'm not sure if I would pick up I would throw the rock and probably not aim for the head, maybe like a kneecap or
Kids
like
would do that. No, that could
The
happen.
kids will do that.
Yeah, they'll get
But
angry and not think. Just
But this is why she had lived that life. But the aliens probably saw that she fought, whereas the other ones who they were able to create doppelgangers of didn't fight the way that she fought. And so they said, okay, we're going to let you live here in this life where everyone likes you. You're not this recluse, and the aliens gave her her idyllic life that she wanted, but she was one of the ones that was not a doppelganger.
Yeah.
She was her.
Mhm.
Now listen, I love musicals. I hated the musical ending to this movie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And here's where the movie is not going to get a 5 from me, is because of that musical ending. And I can see as a moviegoer why when it gets there and you get this montage, you're thrown off. You just kicked motherfucking ass on a great alien movie to end it with a 50s sing-along. What? For me, I would have liked to seen not that music, her coming out, going to the town, maybe, honestly, as corny as it would sound, baking a pie to head to the town.
What kind of pie? What kind of pie?
Apple pie,
I
because
love pie.
it's gonna
Ooh,
be.
apple pie.
Let's see.
I thought you would say strudel. I'm an apple pie guy. You're a strudel guy, bro.
I'm actually.
Look,
like-
JR, he don't get it.
Oh wait. Never mind. No. What did you just do? I'm like, you just ruined your movie.
The reason they brought her back down is because if anybody's gonna show these clones how to adapt to this world, it would be her. She was the one accustomed to being by herself. She was the one accustomed to have to fight for herself. So who better to show these doppelgangers clones how to look and act normal than somebody who's been basically by herself?
Singing, music, though.
But this is, remember, this was,
Hold on, Joe. You had your part.
yeah, you had
I
your
know.
you
Come
were
on,
wrong
it's-
as
it's
part
me and
too.
Joe.
It's a
Come on,
conversation. It's a conversation.
I'm fucking with you, brother.
No, but for me, I think that's why they allow her to come down, because if there's going to be somebody to show these, I mean, think about it, they're all outside working around her house. They could have been in the town, but they're working in her house. Her house is basically now ground zero to the
Ground
training
zero.
and
Good shout. Good shout.
adapting of these double gangers
Good
into
shout.
this world now. For me, the way this should have ended, not the apple pie bit, because that's too cliche and tropey. For me, what they should have did is the scene where they finally brought her back down and she's laying in the middle of the road. Mind you, one knock I have, as much blood as she's lost, she should have been dead because she was bleeding out for a very long time.
She did get fucked up in this movie. I mean,
she
come
was
on,
good.
guys. She got fucked up in this
But
movie.
the
What was
way I would-
her main injury? What was it?
She got stabbed in this. You get stabbed in the abdomen.
Yeah.
So for me, the way this film should have ended is, once again, she's laying down in the middle of the road, and then you had the Close Encounters third kind freaking music playing around. You had like a little freaking
I did
sky
love
lighting
that.
up.
I did love that. I mean,
But the way I took that was that they were giving her a message, and if she would have stood up, and then you do the shot from behind,
More like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
yeah, if she would walk down the middle of the road and they would all basically parted, moved out the way, and she's walking down past them, they start following her. Then the shot goes up to the sky, and then you see all the UFOs in the sky. End the movie there. Stop it there, because now you leave it to interpretation of
Oh yeah.
the fans. All right, what happened? Is she now the leader? Because not for nothing, you would even wonder, all right, is she really the clone or is she still the other person? So it would have left the ending a little bit more up in the air than a freaking musical that had no place in the freaking.
you heard that, right?
Joe, remember when I had messaged you? I was like, Joe, and I didn't finish the movie yet. I like, bro, we got to cover this movie, bro. And I didn't say why, or I just said we have to cover this movie. I was fucking enjoying it, right? And this is before the climax, right? I got back to the movie. She got abducted. She's in the ship. They do all that shit to her. They bring her down. The musical hits. I'm like, oh no. I fucking hated this ending, bro. I hate it.
Well, at
Hate
least
it.
We're all
Hate
in agreement
it.
on that.
Hated this ending because and again, I'm not gonna, you guys talked enough about it. You said your points perfectly. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, but it's not that it was a musical, it's just the tone of the movie drastically
Shifted.
changed. It
Shifted.
shifted so much. It was this awesome home invasion film. Then it got into the deeper meat of the story, concerning Bryn, her backstory. Then she goes back home. She deals with more aliens and intruders. But then once she gets aboard the ship, it lost me, bro. I lost me. I know people they're gonna probably say, "Oh, it's art," or you're looking at it wrong, you're reading it wrong. But the juxtaposition between the first half, or not even the first half, the first, like, let's say three quarters of the film,
3/4.
and then the last quarter, just to me, it just fell off a fucking cliff, man. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's get to the closing thoughts on this one right now. JR, I'm gonna start with you. Rate the film. Anything else you want to say? And yeah, keep it spicy if you got it, my brother.
All right, this movie would have been a 5 for me.
Easily. This was, when I texted Joe, this was a 5.
I loved it. The only time I text Joe when I was watching was let him know that, yo, this is PG-13. And then I'm gonna tell. So when I was watching the film, I had 15 minutes left in the movie. I stopped it because I had a funny feeling I was not going to like where they were going. I
Yes.
stopped it at the point where she was being brought back down.
It got too out there for me. Personally,
I stopped. I was like, you know what? I gotta see the rest of this tomorrow because I just got a bad feeling on this, and I was right.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I was fucking right, man.
Well, he
What
had
are
a
you doing?
bad feeling about this.
Let me tell you something. Do not put musicals at the end of horror films.
No, never.
Unless it's a comedy.
Well, and this, I
So
guess
if
what they
it
were
was-
trying
if
to,
it was, if it was musical, from
what
the
they were
beginning,
going for was like the Stepford Wives type of like they're in
ideally,
this, they're in
that's
this
why-
utopia now, right?
Yes.
So everything is nice and happy. And
It's
the
the way
first
she
guy,
wanted it.
the first guy when she's driving, she looks over this guy, she waves at him. He's like, he turns off. Now, when they replay the same scene back, she looks at him. He's like, hey, he's all happy,
Yeah.
dancing. So now the tables have turned. Now everyone loves her. They're all happy. They're all dancing and stuff. I
Her
get all
world.
that,
But
huh?
you know, there's a difference though. When they
Yeah.
show the house in the beginning, it was nighttime. When they show the house at the end, it's daytime.
daytime
Boom.
and bright.
Yeah, so for me, would have been a 5. They need a musical. The last 15 minutes of the film were unnecessary. You should have just stopped at a certain point. You didn't have to go into this. I do appreciate the director what they did though. I do appreciate because he wrote it as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got the message.
Very good filmmaker.
I got the message.
Continue making them, but no musicals.
Yeah, you know what? I don't fault the director for adding it in there. It's his form
Well, he
of
wrote it.
storytelling. No, I know that.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's his form of storytelling, right? Some people love it. They do.
Mhm.
So it works in some. No, listen, it does work
It
for
does,
some
it
audiences.
does.
It's
Depends
just
your
not.
audience.
Obviously, judging from you two guys, it ain't for this audience.
Not
But-
you either.
No, that's what I'm saying. This audience.
Well, no,
us
you
three.
said you two guys. Us three guys.
Us three guys. I'm sorry.
Us three
I
guys.
misspoke. I misspoke. I
Yeah,
misspoke.
I was like, Rick's like trying to buy out a little bit. Like, I don't want to be the bad guy.
No. Because trust me, we'll get into that. But yeah, I gotta finish.
No, I'm done.
What's your
Good.
score?
I said at the
4.5.
beginning, 4.5.
4.5. All right, Joe, the psychologist, go for it.
All right, so I'm gonna cheat because we always do this every little once in a while. This is a 4.75 for me. Like I already said I was not gonna give it a 5. The musical part threw me off. Not happy with it. You could have delivered the message the same way you did your whole entire fucking movie. Have her bake a pie, walk
didn't
out
fucking-
there. No words. Well, no, because that's idyllic. That's what she wanted. She wanted this little world. So she could have made a pie, no words, brought it out there. Everybody's like cutting into it, still no words. You went musical. I get why everybody hates the ending. Completely get why everybody hates the ending. 4.75. Do not ever do a musical to what would have been a really fucking great alien horror movie, and we haven't had those in a while.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
We have not had a great
Yep.
this, like, you know, like I was watching this movie and more than halfway through, I was so involved in this movie, like Alien, like it was just so good. And then you got to this musical part, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so 4.75.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, like I think when I paused to text you, Joe, it was right before she was assimilated into the spaceship. They created her clone, all that bullshit. So I'll be honest, this movie, I fucking loved it up until that part. This is a 4 for me. I'm gonna knock a whole point off. It's not only the musical. I think this film was so great when it was just self-contained to her and her house, the alien intruders. I like when she went out, she veered out looking for help and came back, and then she fought the other ones in her home. It should have ended there to me. But once she got into the spaceship and all that mumbo jumbo stuff, and you know, guys, you know I hate mumbo jumbo stuff.
I know. You don't
It was this
well,
film.
you were getting an answer as to why she was a
But I don't want that. The film was so grounded. On a personal level, I
Okay.
wanted to end the movie with more questions. I didn't want
Then
everything answered to me.
I can.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's not just the musical part for me. That whole last 20 minutes was like, oh no, what? This is the same movie? Like, what? I'm like, oh no.
Because we've seen that before. We've seen where somebody accidentally kills
Oh.
someone, and now you've lived this life, in shame.
Yeah, I don't. It's just
We've
not
seen
even
it.
that.
We've
It's
seen it.
just. It's just too much. I loved it when it was grounded, but again, when they took her in, they started doing this weird shit to her, and then all this weird. I don't know. It just took me out of the film. I was like, nah. See, this is every other fucking movie I saw before where I was like, why are they doing too much? They're doing too much. Hey, I got to see it. I enjoyed it. JR, Joe, thank you, my brothers, for coming on this episode of Horror Fiend TV. 3 Corners of Horror. I'm Ricky Grimes, my boy JR, and Joe the Psychologist. Come back next week for another episode of 3 Corners of Horror. What will we be talking about? You'll have to tune in for that one. With that being said, stay good, stay healthy, stay fine. Happy birthday to me.
Oh,
Stay
you
scared,
took my line.
motherfuckers. Stay scared, motherfuckers.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Happy birthday.